Whew, alright, boys and girls. I made a video on our lad Steve Huff a while ago, and I talked about it and I discussed it, and you know what? At the time, I kind of laughed and I kind of had a little giggle, alright? But I'm not fucking giggling anymore, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of those, I'm not giggling, I'm not happy. I'm a little tilted, alright? So you know what? Why am I tilted? Now, for those of you who don't know, rapper known as Juice WRLD has passed away, alright? You might have remembered him from the meme compilations. I can't say that I was ever a huge fan of Juice WRLD. I gotta be honest with you. I don't really listen to a lot of new age hip hop, okay? My history with hip hop is very, very, back in the old days. I don't really listen to a lot of these new rappers, but when somebody dies at a very, very young age, it kind of hits me a little too close to home. It's something that I talk to my dad about too, my mom and dad sometimes, and it's like, for them, it's like they're in their 50s and shit, and for them to hear somebody die at 20, it's a pretty heavy-hitting thing, because at the end of the day, when you're 20, you still have your whole fucking life ahead of you. But unfortunately, this kind of shit happens, and condolences go to the people that have lost their lives. And we all hope and pray and hope that if there exists a place after life, they're in the best of places. You know what I mean? All right, in the recording studio up in the sky or wherever the fuck you want. We all hope for the best. Well, I decided to also check on our good old friend Steve Huff, all right, Paranormal. The little I can talk to the dead using ITC and broken fucking radios. What do you fucking know? Juice WRLD, Spirit Box Session, direct, clear messages and answers, profound, miraculous, real. We lie to YouTube terms of services. All right, normally I wouldn't. I'm a fucking little tilted at it. Now he's got a fuck ton of likes, not a lot of dislikes. All right, it's to be expected. We've got the fucking Paranormal Brigade. All right, now I want to read the description. Steve makes a good attempt at descriptions. Over 1,000 requests have come in via comments, email, Facebook, PM, and more for me to do a session for Jared Higgins, also known as Juice WRLD. I am not the first on YouTube to do a session for him. Others have already. Let's pass that buck around, boyos. Now he's gonna show us what real ITC is, which is like it's like fucking communicating with the dead. We know about this weird form of science, the pseudoscience. All right. Now, sure, there will be many self-proclaimed know-it-alls who think this is fake or wrong, but I will say to them that they have no idea how death works. Nobody knows how death works. Death is not a taboo subject. You know what? It's not a taboo subject, but it's a pretty sensitive subject for a lot of fucking people. But you know what? I guess I'm a fucking know-it-all, aren't I? I guess I'm just a goddamn know-it-all. But you want to know something about all of this bullshit? It is in fact fake. 100% unproven fake so far. Nobody knows how death works. If we knew how fucking death worked, it would be a whole new fucking world for us to explore. If we knew what would happen after we die, okay, a lot of things would be answered. Religion would be answered, okay? What to do during life, the answers, the secrets, they would all pretty much be answered. We haven't reached that point, and we probably never will. No hate will be tolerated here. Love is the key. Love might be the key, but I believe in fucking logical sense sometimes, and that certainly is not the key in this situation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this was uploaded literally, I think, a day after, all of this happened. And, to be fair with you, it's fucking baffling to me because you have to film the video, you have to fucking edit the video, you have to fucking do all of the shit in between. This is like, rapid fire everywhere. Now, it's about a 14-minute long video. I'm not going to watch most of it, but, in general, with a lot of these videos, all you can really expect is just your average spirit box session. Nothing really gets answered. Nothing really gets told. It's just a fucking broken radio, and I'm not going to say that audio files are injected or whatever, but nothing gets answered. It's not profound, it's not miraculous, and I highly doubt it's fucking real. So, he's created this device called the Astral fucking Doorway, okay, which is this whole new toaster that he's created, and I guess he uses crystal, spools, copper wiring, whatever they can, and a badly fucking edited 50% opacity Juice WRLD face tossed right into it. Oh my god, dude. It just keeps getting fucking better, man. it just keeps getting into it. Like I said, dude, the body ain't even fucking cold, and we've already got this video set up and ready to go. My lord, it's actually this is what I consider to be incredibly disrespectful. Now, I've always kind of said when it comes to like a lot of this paranormal shit is it's never the content creator necessarily who has the entire fault necessarily tossed at them too. You know, if you go around over here, you've got all these people who are like, do Notorious B.I.G. Sometimes I wonder if Huff is a god. Simply incredible. Yo, it was fucking X, I swear. Am I tripping, or did it really kind of sound like Juice WRLD's voice? I think you're fentanyl is great. Imagine if he could sing through this. I might love it. What you do? Okay, all right. Let me just guide you through here, okay? You might ask the question, Muda, how can you prove it doesn't exist? I mean, maybe it could... Come close to the camera. It doesn't fucking work! It's almost impressive with a lot of these comments is that there's almost never anybody that's a skeptic to all of this. You know what I mean? Like, what always shocks me about this is the more and more I look through this comment section, and I look through a lot, because you can open up any video and look through these comment sections, they're almost all supporters. I'm not going to say that there's like comments being deleted or some shit like that. I don't think there are. I'm not going to make that claim. But it seems like there's some comments that are removed. I don't believe I don't believe it's a homogenous society of supporters, dude. This is YouTube we're talking about, boys. What the fuck? When you come to a lot of these situations, I'm actually legitimately livid right now with a lot of this stuff too. This is something that these paranormal channels do all the time. You know, they as soon as somebody dies, as soon as anything happens, they say, you know what, I'm gonna use this fucking broken radio. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, ITC communication, every time I've looked into it, almost 100% of the time. In fact, I will say, at least from my experience, 100% of the time, it's always a broken fucking radio. It's always a broken piece of equipment. Okay, and the logic always flies around. Sometimes they have these like $1,000 toasters, and sometimes they literally use a cell phone app that costs like $6. The actual science behind ITC changes all the fucking time. You know, every time I've come across it, it's always a broken radio. And I don't know if it gets fed sound files or if it just connects through radio frequencies, which is basically the science around it, right? They're ripping radio frequencies out of the air, and the whole logic is, as you communicate, you're picking up the frequencies in between the radio signals, right? And this is just the weirdest piece of logic to me too, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when we look back at the original Paranormal, like at least Huff's side of things, he couldn't sell these as actual tools. They had to be sold as like, you know, entertainment purposes. Because like I said, if he didn't, you know, the federal government would shut that shit down as a scam. But for me over here, guys, the burden of proof is always on these individuals. I'm not saying that this couldn't happen, you know, communicating to the dead and shit like that. You know, it's like the same thing I say to flat earthers, right? I'm not going to say that you're wrong, and I'll be a flat earther if you can give me compelling evidence. But if you don't give me compelling fucking evidence, if your evidence isn't rooted in fucking science, okay, tangible science, then I'm not going to believe it. It's complete bullshit. All right, that's what it comes down to. And I'm not saying that as a disrespectful individual or as a complete skeptic. I'm saying that as somebody that can fucking make a logical question and answer. You know, somebody literally just passed away, okay? Tragic shit happens. What happens over here? We immediately become vultures and just aim for it. And now we can communicate to the dead. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this one final time, okay? You don't know what's after death. We don't have the answer to it. And neither does anybody like this. Honestly, before I end this, ask yourself this fucking question. Just be honest with yourself. Just be real with yourself. You know, I'll say it like this, actually, different way. If I was to pass away, right? Like, if I was to be gone, if anybody was to be passed away, right? Like, would you really fucking expect yourself to be locked in a situation where these people can attach 2 crystals to a fucking toaster, call you from the grave, you respond, and instead of living your life properly in the afterlife, you're now relegated to be a fucking call center employee on the other end of the fucking life spectrum and respond to this shit on a daily using vague responses? Is that what you want? Or is that in the afterlife? Do you just want to be gone? Do you just want to be gone and do something else? Ladies and gentlemen, there is no tangible proof any of this exists. But you've got all these people, you've got these individuals basically appealing to all these bereaved individuals, people who really don't know any better. Look, I'm going to be honest with you right over here. I consider all of this to be nonsense, 100%. And you know, at one point I could let this slide, but over and over and over again, every time I go to a lot of these paranormal channels, and Huff is just one example of it, this kind of stuff really, really pisses me off. I've always said it over and over and over again. I'm not here to be a toxic piece of shit. If you want to come on and give me 100% proof to convince me, I will gladly keep an open mind and accept it. So far, no one has fucking accepted my challenge. No one will accept my challenge because none of this shit ever fucking exists. What a shock, right? What a shock. But yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to have to put my rating down a little bit. I usually considered a lot of these clickbait YouTube channels, like, you know, whenever we cover J stations and all those kind of stuff, I always consider that to be, you know, bad content. This, on the other hand, I consider to be somewhat predatory. And you know what? So far, seeing the word real in that absolutely fucking stabs me in the heart a little bit. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. I am out.